So how did I grow and when did things start to change? I'd say a massive piece of my growth is down to Skillist and my coach Stephen. Basically, in my head, I thought, how can I have impact in this golf world as this new golfer if I was super bad at golf? Which obviously isn't true because everyone brings their own value into the world. Like, I don't have to be a professional playing on tour to have some sort of positive impact in the world. Like, I don't. But in my head, I was like, I really need to be better at this because why is anyone going to listen to me? And also, I don't like doing things by halves, so it made sense. And I wanted to get good. I wanted to be able to go and play, and I wanted to beat everyone I went and played, especially all of the boys. And I also have like a weird addiction to hitting balls. I just love hitting a ball. It's probably one of the only things I do, apart from the piano, that actually helps my mind to rest. My mind is so active, it thinks about so many things simultaneously, that it's actually one of the only things that helps my mind rest, so that's really nice. So when I started my Insta, I was posting a lot of golf fashion posts. This was obviously because it was related to me wanting to have golf clothes I could go and buy. But I also started posting me practicing at home. I mean, I had zero clue where to start. There's so many golf tips online, so many different lessons, and it's a huge minefield for a newbie. Like, I didn't even know what a slice was, and then all these videos were telling me how to fix a slice. I'm like, I just want to know how to hit the ball and not do an air shot. And I remember it so clearly. I basically posted this indoor drill on my feed. It was in my old house actually, on the top floor. I had like slanted roofs. It was really basic. It was that video that actually got Baden from Skillist to reach out to me. It was one morning before work. He called me because he's based out in Australia, and it was so early for me. I could barely think straight, and he was like, Mia, you'd be a great proof of concept to showcase how someone could learn golf through their phone. And I was like, sure. Golf coaching sounds amazing. That's awesome. I mean, I love a bit of hand holding, I'm not gonna lie. The moral support I need to live my life sometimes, you just can't buy that. I love just having someone there. I love the emotional support, the teaching, the learning, the getting better. I just love doing things with people, I guess. So having a coach was just the most wonderful, the best thing that I could ever been offered in my whole entire life. That also being said, with COVID, we were in lockdown. We couldn't go out. We weren't going to be able to see or speak to or link up or have lessons from any sort of pro anywhere anyway. So this was just so perfect. Then Baden put me in touch with Stephen, and literally from there, everything changed. Stephen was based out in Malaysia at the time. He's down in Singapore, I think that's right. So he was super far away. Obviously there's a time difference thing, and I will do a whole podcast purely on online coaching because I think it's such an interesting topic, and I think it's a really new topic that not many people have experienced. Obviously my whole golfing life has been through online coaching, so I just feel like it's a really interesting thing to talk about. Since working with Stephen, I finally had like direction with my golf. My improvement was just, you know, insane. I even helped Stephen create a beginner golfer program. Skillist used me to showcase how a beginner can learn golf through their phone. I had Stephen using me as a bit of a case study for other coaches, and because I was giving such, I don't know, I think I was giving such raw feedback, like I'm very vocal and open with what I think and what I feel, that it's actually really helpful for coaches as well, because I was just very open about being a beginner and thinking, you know, what's going on, I can't hit this ball, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling throughout the whole process. So I think that's not only helped people like me, but it's also helped the coaches help people like me. And you know, it wasn't long before I started being able to hit the ball. I was moving my body properly. I was learning the basics of golf, but I started from the very beginning. Like, I started on the foundational movements of a swing. I spent weeks where I didn't even hit a ball. I was practicing in the shower. I was practicing when I was making my coffee. Like, I was just doing all these movements which was so foreign to me. I'd never done them before, and weirdly it kind of created this golfer that I am today. It was pretty crazy, to be honest. I got like a fair amount of backlash for sharing my learnings online. I just wanted to help other beginners start because I didn't know where to start, and I just wanted to share what I was working on in the hope that maybe, you know, anyone else who was on a similar journey to me could get some benefit from it. Especially seeing as I was getting this coaching from Stephen, like I wanted to share that with other people who maybe didn't have the same access as me. Obviously now I put a lot of disclaimers on all of my posts saying I'm sharing my journey, this is what I'm working on, and I have a coach. But the thing is, they've actually helped people. And it's so crazy to think about when people are like, why are you able to share this stuff? You have no qualifications for it. And they're right, I don't have any qualifications for it. But I do have my personal perspective where I'm just sharing things in a much more simplified manner than some coaches do, because they go really technical really quickly and we don't even know what they're talking about. And anyway, it's not like I'm saying I'm definitely going to be able to help you or that you definitely have to do what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what's working for me at the time, and maybe it'll work for you. Also, Instagram's just fun. Like, you don't have to take it so seriously. You try it or you don't try it. You watch it or you don't watch it. I don't know. I think it should just be pretty chilled. I feel like the little trio created some traction on my account, you know, between me, Skillist, Stephen. Granted, it was all my own content being shared because I was putting out so much stuff like every single day, every single week. It was just like a lot of reposts of what I've been putting up. But, you know, that's what it's all about. Inspiring and helping other people on their own journeys at the same time as I was on my own. My life was crazy busy. I was working crazy long hours. I was practicing my golf in the morning, or basically wherever I was in the house, I was practicing it. Even on calls, I'd start practicing. I don't know, I was mad. But I was just so inspired by working with Stephen. I created my content in the morning. I storied every single day. I think I storied every single day for at least a year and a half. I was working with various golf brands, including American Golf. Yet still, I didn't actually earn a single pound from golf throughout the whole of 2020. I guess that's a pretty big thing too, because I was working, I didn't have the pressure of money. Golf wasn't my job. It was my hobby. It was my side hustle. It was part of the world where I was having impact. And yeah, I got free stuff, and that's super cool and super awesome, but I'm also just really not into clutter. Unless I really, really, really want it, I don't want it, if that makes sense. So not to sound ungrateful or anything, because I'm so grateful and I feel so privileged, but I didn't see the point in having a top that I knew I never was going to wear, if that makes sense, because it's just like clogging up my wardrobe, and I only have a certain amount of space. You know, you live in London, you don't have an abundance of space here, so you've got to be wise with it. And I don't know, I just didn't want it. I only wanted the things that I really loved. I also did a few collabs. I did quite a few Insta lives with various people, and I think because it was COVID and everyone was on their phones, it made things so much more accessible for me. I don't know, I just feel like I rode the wave at the right time, and I didn't even know there was a wave, but I'd just fallen into this thing at the right time in the right place, and I was just super lucky with it all, that it all kind of came about, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's obviously a multitude of things, because obviously I've worked hard, but also there's a huge amount of luck involved. How weird is this, right? Podrick Harrington. I mean, I'd literally never heard of this guy before. He started his Instagram account during COVID, or relaunched it or something like that. And Wilson basically asked me if I could be his first Instagram live. So I was on Instagram live with Podrick Harrington, who was giving me a golf lesson, not knowing at all who he was, apart from being this guy who had to like FaceTime me 5 times before the Insta live because he wanted to make sure everything was set up and was okay. And I was thinking, gosh, he's a very worried person. It's like, he just needs to chill, it's all gonna go okay. And it did go okay. But now obviously I know who he is. I'm just thinking, oh, it's so lucky, Mia, that you had no idea what you were doing, because otherwise you'd probably freak out. I honestly think being so clueless about golf has helped me so much in these situations, because I just haven't known any better, you know? I've also met some amazing, incredible content creators along the way. Rachel Drummond was actually someone I spoke to really early on, and she's a super, super lovely girl. Obviously Rick Shields, Seb on Golf, he's awesome. He's a very fascinating guy, he's super clever. Peter Finch, Bella Angel, Isabel Shee, Alexandra O'Loughlin, the Good crew, I met a few of them, they're amazing. I've even spoken to people like Danielle Kahn, Jessica Gorda, Tyrrell Hatton, Justin Rose. Actually, I've got around quite a lot. That is actually mad, I've spoken to so many people, that's crazy. Anyway, my point is, I did loads of these collabs, meeting and talking to people through Insta, on Zoom. It opened up my eyes so much, and it opened me up to the golf world.